Hello everyone, and welcome to my corner of the world, and welcome to the Peony Garden One Sheet Wonder card class. This is my online virtual class for July 2020, where we'll be making six cards using one sheet of 6x6 designer series paper for our focal points. So this is the video for the third card in the series. So this is the card we'll be making. Now your instructions do contain some information on the card, the supply list and some line-by-line instructions, as well as a cutting guide for the DSP and a supply list, just in case you want to go ahead and make some more yourself. So whilst you have those instructions, this video is intended to be the main source of information for making this card. So in your supplies, you're going to have the following. So you've got your envelope and your card base, and inside you should find your insert. Then you've got a strip of cardstock. You should have 3 grey squares and 3 squares of designer series paper. This is what you're going to stamp your greeting on. And then you've got a little twist of the lovely organza stripe ribbon. So also in your kit, you will have some glue dots, some dimensionals, some pearls, as well as you'll have a couple of spares of this label, just in case you make a little snafu with your stamping. Also, you'll find that you've got this little gauge. Now, this is intended so that you can select one of your stamp sets or individual stamps to complete your cards. And that this will allow you to see if a stamp set, the stamp that you have, will fit into the space. So the stamp set I have chosen to use in my cards is Lovely You, because of the nice greetings that's on there, but also I like all the flowers and leaves down the bottom here. Obviously you are going to choose a set from your collection. So let's make a start on our card. So I'm going to start with stamping, and I'm going to need the little label, my envelope, as well as the liner for the card. All right. Now I've chosen to use the Misty Moonlight ink, but you can again choose something from your collection. I think that it would work well if you were to use Crumb Cake, or maybe if you have Grey Granite, Smoky Slate, possibly Night of Navy. So I'm going to stamp my smile. I'm choosing Smile for this one. I'm going to do that toward the top right there. And then I've got my little leafy stamp, and because I've got quite a lot of space on my label, I decided that I would backfill with some other images. So that's my greeting label, and then I'm just going to stamp once, and then I'm going to do a second one on my envelope, and then on my on the piece I'm going to put inside my card, I'm going to do it slightly differently. I think I'm going to do corner and corner, but again, you'll decide with yours what you'd like to do. So there's our stamping finished. Get that out of the way, and we can now look at assembling our card. So the first thing that you're going to do is to use your choice of glue. I prefer to use multi-purpose liquid glue, but you can use a glue stick, you can use snail, whatever works for you. And you're going to take this strip. Now, this piece has been embossed with the Subtles embossing folder to give it a bit more texture. And I'm just going to position it so it's toward the top of my card. Now, you might find that it's a tiny bit on the long side. If so, you can just pop your scissors, get your paper snips. There we go. And you can always trim it down a tiny bit if that's necessary. So then I'm just going to press that firmly. And while I'm here, I'm just going to pop the inside piece in as well. And then I know where that is. And there we go, like that. And let's straighten that up a tiny bit. And then I'm going to take my little pieces of designer series paper on my little squares. Now, oh, do it the right way around, Cindy. You can choose whichever way that you would like to have your designer series paper. What I'm going to do for mine is I'm going to do 2 in pink and 1 in the grey, just to give me a little bit of a change. So I'm just going to pop that one like that. And just center it up like that. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go with the card and flip these over, and we're going to put some mini dimensionals on the back. I'm just going to put in like opposite corners. Now I've put mini dimensionals in your kits because it means that they're quite flexible in terms of you've got bigger pieces and smaller pieces, and the small dimensionals will be a bit more flexible. Okay, so you're going to do the 2 end ones first. So these are going to need to be close to this end here, and then obviously centered there. And then you're going to do this one as next. So you've got the 2 ends, and that way you'll find it a lot easier to center this one like that. So we're going to do that one there, and then we can just pop this one in the middle like that. And then we have our greeting. So I'm just going to put the greeting down with liquid glue, and I'm just centering it up here. And then I'm going to take a mini glue dot and attach my piece of ribbon. It was this ribbon that made me fall in love with the petal pink card colour. I wasn't particularly impressed with it at first, and then when I saw this ribbon, that's when I really fell in love with it. And then we're going to just put a few, well, I'm going to put a pearl on one corner of each square like that. And that is card number 3 finished. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Remember, there's 5 other videos to describe the other cards. Bye for now.